Hey folks, Tracy here with Scrappy's Rustics. In this video, we're going to decoupage on a flannel shirt, and it's going to be washable. The decoupage paper number is 0114. We're going to use pentart decoupage varnish and glue for textiles, and we're going to use white chalky paint by pentart as well. So I'm taking my water pen and I'm going to get rid of anything that I don't want on that paper, the edges, the bottom, and all this stuff. So the pentart textile is pretty awesome stuff. It's not hard, it's a process, but heat setting it is what makes it washable. Now, if you're going to wash it, you're going to wash it in cool, gentle cycle and do not dry it. Now, I tried to bleach this flannel and it did not bleach. Not all things are bleachable, believe it or not. I got the shirt on on Amazon several months ago because I wanted to use this paper on it, believe it or not, and it just wouldn't bleach. It took it down a little bit, but I decided it wouldn't bleach, so I'm just going to decoupage on it. Now, you need a light background, so I'm painting the back of my decoupage paper. In hindsight, I should have painted it first and then fussy cut it, because you do not want to get paint in your little fibers because it makes them kind of hard and they stand up and it's just not a good look. So, and you want to go one way, really light paint, not heavy, so it doesn't bleed through, and then the other way, fill in any holes, because believe it or not, you will be able to see it. So you can even clear coat it with like decoupage or your medium of your choice if you want to. If you're afraid that bleeding's going to go through, like if it was a darker paper, you might want to seal it before painting. So I just put my paper in the position I wanted it. The pen that I used is erases with heat, because I wanted to keep you can kind of see the product a little bit when it dries. It's just a little different sheen from the shirt itself. So I wanted to try to keep the textile within the area of my paper. So that's what I put the little corners on, so I had a little guideline. So I always like to put one coat down first, because your fabric's going to suck up your product. And when you lay your paper down, you want it to be really nice and moist, because I also put a layer of chalk paint on the back of my paper, so it's got to penetrate through that as well. So you want to put a coat down, dry it, and then put your coat down that you're going to actually lay your paper in. You'll have you'll have better results. You won't get air bubbles and all that stuff, because you really want this paper to adhere nicely to your fabric. So just take your time with this. I just put that one strip down there so I could anchor it, and then I end up doing 2 more sections. I like to work in smaller sections again, so it's nice and moist, and the chalk paint and the paper itself really sucks it up. And take your time rubbing it into the fabric. You really want to work that product into the paper, so like it adheres. It's going to go through the wash, so at some point. So the thing we don't know is how many washes before it starts to break down, or you need to add another coat of the textile. That I do not know as of yet. Also, another important thing is when we do the top coat of this, you really want to pay attention to the edges. So see how I'm really making sure those edges are down nice, and I'm using a plastic baggie. Now be mindful, you can see the product on the bottom. If your baggie happens to hit that, just get a clean section, because you don't want that product on top while you're trying to mush it down. So now we're going over the top. I would recommend 2 coats, one way, one the other, and really, like I said before, paying good attention to the edges and the corners. Make sure you got a nice amount of product on there and they are going down. So yeah, this is really cool, y'all. So the whole key to this is heat setting. And it almost seems as anything that we use, paints, stencils, chalk paints, chalk inks, those kind of things, heat setting is the key to making it become washable. So this is just some fabric medium that I'm using. I wanted this to have a little shimmer, so I've never done this before, so I decided I was going to add these mica powders. I think it's called rose gold, but that really doesn't look rose gold. But it was pretty much close to the color of the flannel, and I wanted a little shimmer. However, the color is good, but there was no shimmer. So we end up in the end, you'll see, you got to watch to the end, because the shimmer we add it's pretty cool. And y'all know I don't like glitter, so there's a hint for you. So I just mixed that up real well until the powder was in the medium. Now the stuff that I mixed up was a little liquidy. And I am using a stencil, but fabric really sucks it up. But I was very mindful of not using too much, because I didn't want it to bleed. So this stencil is an original by Mara with Vintage Retail Therapy. She designed this. I believe it's called Lace. You can get it on her website at vintageretailtherapy.com. She has her own line. She's pretty amazing. So that's what I'm using, and I'm just taping off what I don't want to get paint on. And also, my paper isn't exactly rectangle or square or whatever, so I'm just lining. See where that on the edge where my left hand is? I just edged that up to the paper itself. Some of the stencil is on the paper, which is fine, and then I just taped off to the right and the top and the bottom where I didn't want it to go. So I do this on all 4 sides, and you can see I'm not using a lot of paint at all. And this is just a little something. It's just subtle, just to add a little more interest to our shirt. And when you are picking out flannels, be mindful of those pleats. Those can be important. If there's a pleat right in the middle, your paper's not going to lay down right. So try to stay away from those kind of shirts if you're going to do if you're going to decoupage. There's a piece of blue tape you see every once in a while. That was my center of my shirt, so I just kept that on there because the shirt isn't the best quality either. Everything's a little bit off, so I just kept that there in the middle so I could just refer to it as I was adding things. So this is like a generic, I believe it's a folk art mesh silkscreen stencil, and I just had it in my stash forever, and I just thought the bottom needed a little something something. So I have this fabric and leather paint. It's really thick. They don't make it anymore. Pentart came out with a new line, which almost all of these products can be found on my website, scrappyrustics.com. So I thought I'd give this fabric paint a try, and this is a mesh stencil, so I want to get it in all those little screen holes there. And I decided I was gonna, I didn't want it stark white, so I decided I was gonna sprinkle a little of the mica powders in there, y'all. I never did that before, but it worked. It worked. I thought it would be a little more pink, but it wasn't. But it still came out cute. So it just gave me a little bit of pink and white in there is what it did. Next time I probably use more. I'm still trying to get that shimmer. That didn't give me the shimmer either. It just gave me a color is what it did, which I didn't know. I very rarely use mica powders other than in resin, so there's so many uses for it. So I'm pretty excited. I got a couple of containers, so I'm going to be playing with those here and there. But it's very easy to make, and the colors are so vibrant because most of the mica powders are really highly pigmented, and mica powders are shimmery, so if you need a little shimmer. Not in this case, though, not in fabric. So this just gave it a little something, and there it is, y'all. I love this. So I'm looking for shimmer. So I didn't want to stop. I was gonna stop there, and then I remembered I got Pentart decoupage varnishing glue with glitter. Y'all, I hate glitter. I do, because it's messy, but this is contained. And you can't see it. I tried so hard to, the camera just doesn't pick up sparkle. It doesn't. So I tried my best to see if you could see it, but it's very, very, very fine, iridescent type glitter, and it's perfect. I did everything pink. I did her dress, her ears, her cheeks. I didn't do the fella. I did the flower, and I did the umbrella, and it was exactly what I was looking for. Oh, and the little butterfly, exactly what I was looking for. You can kind of see it there. So it's just a little something, something, and it's contained. So put a piece of parchment paper over this, heat set it with your iron-on cotton, and that will make it washable. If you like my style, I'd love for you to hit that subscription button and hit the little bell so you're notified when new videos go up. Check out our website at scrappyrustics.com. I really hope this inspired you in some way. Keep your eye open for those flannels, especially at the thrift stores. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.